So it looked like Travis Hunter decided to troll one of his biggest haters right now, even somebody that he looked up to, because they had to call the man bland. What? Says he's a bland wide receiver? I'll play the clip. We're also going to talk about the Heisman odds right now because Travis Hunter is moving on up. And the NFL, the important scouts out there, the important people out there are recognizing the talent of the Buffs, especially Deion Sanders. So let's take a look at all three of those here on the Prime Time for College Football. This video is powered by our partners over at BetUS. Make sure you check them out. They are hooking up the gamer 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit using our promo code YouTube150. All right. So let's start off with the biggest fish of them all. We're going to go ahead and not bury the lead, and we'll talk about Heisman odds and the NFL looking at the Buffs like Shedeur as well as Travis Hunter a little bit later. So make sure you stick around so you can see what they're saying about him. But first and foremost, Travis Hunter had to go out and, I guess you could say, throw a little shade at one of his biggest haters. So we're going to play that clip in just a second. But first off, when Travis went out there to the field, Travis was rocking a t-shirt that said bland on it. A lot of people were wondering what the heck that is. Bland? I mean, you know, became popular. If you look underneath all the posts on, especially on the X-Bird, all the bots have already made t-shirts to match it so y'all can, you know, go buy them or whatnot. Kind of weird. But I anticipate that Colorado is going to put something together with Nike and make some official gear come down the line. Or Travis Hunter may do some official gear. I don't know. But at the same time, he was called bland, which is kind of wild to call somebody who we all consider the most dynamic player in college football bland. But let me play this clip. It was about Richard Sherman, of all people, that said that. And yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think.
I wonder what he's going to come out as, because I haven't watched too much of his games. I see a lot of the highlights. Have you seen a lot of his game, Sherm?
I have. I think he goes as a corner just because of what we talked about earlier. Like receivers his size, he's not a special size, and I don't see him as like a super dynamic, route runner. He's just one of those. He's a great athlete, and he's smooth, so he can get it done. I'm sure if he sat there and focused on receiver, he could be elite. But as a corner, he just looks natural. And it's back to catching a ball, and he's in position all the time. He's breaking right. He has a good feel for it. And it's so rare, you know what I mean? Like a corner like him is going to up the market. Like, I can't believe Pat didn't get more than what he got. But Sauce is in New York, so Sauce is probably going to take the DBs over 30 or close to 30. But a guy like that coming in, by the time he comes in, it's going to start to get to 32, 33 million when it's time for him to get paid, and he could do it. But as a receiver, I just think he'd kind of blend.
So, yeah, of all people, Richard Sherman says that Travis Hunter is bland. Now, granted, he did acknowledge how much of an athlete Travis Hunter is, and he was more so pointing out, I guess you could say, his slight size is one reason why he would consider that. But, man, it's a little wild that Sherman would, and good enough, Sherman reached out to Travis Hunter and he apologized. They've chopped it up about it, and Travis made mention, he apologized. But Travis also pointed out that it hurt his feelings, right? He was a little hurt by it because he looked up to Sherman's game, especially at the beginning of his career when he was a really elite zone corner and he had some lockdown tendencies in man-to-man. He was doing some stuff to start his career. And Travis was molding some of his game around him because, he's closer to the age of when Travis Hunter really was paying attention to NFL football. And, Sherman was one he looked up to. But he had to go out there and shade him a little bit, rock the shirt that said bland, finish the game up 9 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown with some masterful route running. And so, yeah, he may not be the siziest dude. You ain't got to be. Go look at Devontae Smith, the former Alabama wide receiver in the NFL. Dude was cooking for the Eagles in his first couple years, and he's slight. He's more slight than Travis Hunter, and there was more concerns about Devontae going in the league than Travis because of his size. So I don't know what Sherman was thinking with that. He's got to do better with the hate, keeping it a buck. He's got to do a lot better with the hate. But hey, whatevs. We will see what that looked like. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let's dive into these Heisman odds, but first we're going to talk about the NFL is recognizing Deion Sanders, and I'm going to show y'all how. But first, a word from the sponsor. Shout out to our partners over at BetUS. They are taking care of the gamer. They're hooking you up 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 when you use our promo code YouTube150. And then they're going to give you 125% on your next 2 deposits just because of that. And that's how they know that you sent you. So we talked about Heisman odds, right? Right now, Travis Hunter is sitting at plus 475. So he's moving up the odds tree, which places him at like third in the best odds of winning it behind Jalen Milroe and Cam Ward. Hey man, that's a good number to have, 475. So you put $100 in, you're going to win $475. And you can do that on BetUS because they're taking care of the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit of $2,000. And they're going to give you 125% bonus on your second and third deposits up to $2,000 by using our promo code YouTube150. So check them out. That lets them know that we sent you. And head on over there, BetUS, where the games begin. So after that elite game of Alabama versus Georgia, everyone has been talking heavy about Jalen Milroe and asking questions about Carson Beck, right? Beck started off pretty bad, but, he bounced back in that game. But the NFL is looking at next season and trying to, decide who should be that quarterback coming out at the top. And shout out to Mel Kiper, as y'all see on the screen. He's putting it on Deion Sanders still, right? Deion is considered the top dude on his list, and straight up makes sense, right? Deion is out here having once again another elite season. And I think the one thing that bothers me is when we talk about these Heisman pieces, how come Deion isn't higher in the Heisman conversation? Granted, everyone is very high on Milroe right now. They're very high on, Carson Beck for some reason. Travis Hunter is getting some love. We're starting to see that, but Deion is number 6 in the country in passing yards at 1,643 yards, 16 touchdowns, and his 16 touchdowns rank up at, in the top. He's 14 touchdowns. He's number 4 in the rank, tied for 4th in the country in touchdowns, and he's only thrown 3 picks. He's done a fantastic job of orchestrating the offense, even as the offensive line is still being, established, completing 70% of his passes. That's massive numbers at the level, especially with, the offensive line being, revamped, a lot of new players put together, because Shadour's been sacked 17 times, which is tops in the country. Now we need to cut those back, but I think the line is starting to gel better. They're playing better together. Phil Loadhall has really got them boys doing better. And Shadour's ability to escape the pocket and still be able to complete these passes downfield. I mean, I saw Joel Klatt talking about him and praising his passes. I was seeing some others really talk about Shedeur and his the way he's balling. Like, NFL scouts are heavy and high on Shedeur. And so he's been able to prove it week after week. Good thing he got the bye week, get his body rested, get the offensive line some cohesion, and go into next week. Because right now, Buffs have a good chance of actually riding high and winning the conference. They're the second team in the conference right now. They're undefeated, right? Being 2-0 is a great start. 4 wins on the season, which ties last year. Told y'all they was going to outdo last season. They're guaranteed to get at least one more win this season. And so they're outdoing that last year already, starting off 4-1. And all this is going to do is make the hype around Deion Sanders continue to go up. So I'm sensing that the Buffs should finish up with a good season. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments on that. Now, Heisman odds. On3 had put out some odds. Shout out to them, some dope graphics. Right now in their poll, they've got Travis Hunter as the number 1 player in the Heisman conversation with Ashton Jeanty, the running back out of Boise State, who's really good. Then Jalen Milroe, Cameron Ward, and Ryan Williams at 5th is a little interesting. I think he's having a fantastic season, but I think that's a little higher than I would have him right now, but I digress. The good thing is that Travis Hunter is getting recognized for his ability, and a lot of the On3 analysts here, like Andy Staples, Ari, as well as JD, everybody got Travis Hunter in their top 3, but they've got him leading the way, and he's having a season, right? Talked about earlier in the video. He had to shade Richard Sherman and remind him that, you say he's bland, he ain't. Man can ball. And so he's just putting up the numbers he needs to do to help this team win, as well as make his stock look even better. So anybody that thinks that they're only putting up numbers just for themselves, they don't know this Buff team, right? Prime praises the unselfishness of this team and how good that they're playing. And a lot of people around it are saying the same thing, even the players, right? You'll probably see another article come out where somebody's talking noise. Always does. The hater is always going to hate. But I love the fact that Travis went out there, trolled Richard Sherman just to remind him, hey, man, I'm a little bit more dynamic at receiver than you think. And the numbers and the play are proving them right. So Heisman-wise, I hope that him as a two-way, he's getting some more love. I mean, he's got a pick. He's got 3 picks this year. He's got, he's been balling, period. I think that's probably just all that needs to be said. I mean, he's 5th in the country in yards at 561 yards, 6 touchdowns on the season. And he always comes up with some ridiculous interceptions just about each game. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in those comments. Let us know your thoughts. All right. Right now, the Buffs are 9 in the top 25. I think that's going to change soon. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. Hopefully by next week, Buffs get some love and get to move into the top 25 again. But if they pull off this dub against Kansas State next week, which I think they can, we should see that. You can check out one of the other videos we put up earlier this week, our recap from the game and how they shut up all the ESPN haters. And of course, subscribe. We'll drop more videos soon. Shout out to BetUS for, of course, sponsoring this video. They powered it. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. They're hooking up the gamer. So check them out. All right. We're out. We'll talk soon.